Good morning to you. This is the morning call. I'm Hanan Fujani, broadcasting live from Congo.
And I am Robert Kujingo. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the morning call. We are broadcasting live in French and English. Straight towards making news on our desk. Today, the African Union elections to elect a new chairperson has been delayed after a failure of achieving majority votes. Now, what next and how will it impact Dlamini Zuma's ambition to run for office back in South Africa?
The first made in Senegal sunscreens to protect albinos, an initiative of a pharmaceutical company based in Dakar. About 5,000 bottles have already been donated. We'll be speaking to the managing director of Tanzania's Kilisan, a company on a similar course.
And an agreement to foster peace in northern Mali has placed members of the coalition and movement of Azawad and the combatants of the Gacha in charge of the city of Kidal. We have more of that on our news bulletin.
And in Algeria, a new investment law is approved to spur economic growth, coming at a time when the country has been hit by low crude prices. Details in the business segment.
Well, a warm welcome to this broadcast of the morning call. Outgoing chairperson of the African Union, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, will extend her term in office for the next 6 months after the body failed to elect a new chairperson yesterday in Kigali, Rwanda. Now, the House voted, but none of the candidates attained the two-thirds majority of the votes required. Representatives of member states had expressed lack of stature among the dominated candidates prior to the elections, with 24 out of 54 member states refusing to vote during the second round, which also resulted in the postponement.
The current chairperson of the commission, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, has not been particularly popular in some circles in Addis Ababa. Some African Union ambassadors have criticized her for having accelerated the decline of the union. The acrimony between Dlamini Zuma and some prominent Francophone leaders dates back to her contentious election in 2012. Some felt Francophone countries were forming a bloc to prevent her from taking the top position. Celine Ntobong with more.
Great honor.
Outgoing President of the African Union Commission, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, will be in office longer than expected. Dlamini Zuma will remain in office for the next 6 months after heads of states attending the 27th AU Summit in Kigali, Rwanda, failed to find a successor. None of the three candidates vying for the vote, which took place on Monday, got the two-thirds majority needed to be declared the winner.
Member states have spoken. They spoke loud and clear that they want to have another shot at, identifying candidates that they believe that the present times and conditions in which we find ourselves need, obviously, special kinds of leaders. And they feel that possibly we can still look around.
Foreign ministers of Botswana and Equatorial Guinea and former Ugandan vice president were the three candidates vying for the presidential seat. The election was postponed to January next year. 28 of the 54 countries abstained in the final ballot.
Now, Leslie Vudran is an analyst and a journalist, and she joins us from Kigali, Rwanda. Now, Vudran, is there any other reason beside the two-thirds majority why they could not elect a president yesterday in Kigali?
Yes, ECOWAS asked that the elections would be postponed so that they can put another candidate forward. Senegal was pushing for its former minister, Abdoulaye Bathily, but that was actually rejected by the heads of state in the morning because there was no legal basis actually for just saying, oh, we'll postpone the elections. And there was also no legal way that they could at the last minute introduce a candidate because the candidature is already closed at the end of April, I think, or the beginning of April. So legally, that couldn't happen. So the ECOWAS request was rejected. So the elections continued. But one can see with the many abstentions there were, that probably that was the ECOWAS group and others who abstained from voting therefore sort of blocked the election for that one person could be elected, and so there is a postponement now. That's what they wanted, really.
Well, just quickly, could you tell us what is going to happen between now and January when a new commission is elected?
She's going to stay on for 6 months, and the commissioners, the 8 commissioners, will also stay on, and the deputy, until January 2017, and then there will be an election, and the new team will then only take over in March 2017, which means effectively about about 9 months that there will be sort of an interim commission, which poses a number of problems. There will be a slowdown almost at the AU because people are not sure whether they're going to be re-elected. The commissioners, there are 4 commissioners that are in place at the moment that are up for re-election. 4 of them have finished 2 terms or are not willing to stand for re-election. So there'll be a bit of a lull, one could think, in the workings of the AU.
Now, just to clear up the air and to finally end this, you mentioned a house issue. Does this mean that the AU is has a divided front?
Yes, I think it shows 2 things. First of all, that the candidates that were put forward didn't make the grade, and that there was sort of a general feeling that there should be new candidates on the table. So the continent is definitely divided.
That was Liz Louboutin in Kigali, Rwanda.